Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy? Sports and Fitness Rants. I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back, man. Got another great video for you guys today, as usual, man. You guys know the deal on this channel. It's all about setting the record straight, stopping the lies, stopping the narratives, stopping them from rewriting history, guys. And in this video, we're going to talk about LeBron James again. I don't give a damn. We are going to set the record straight on this fool. And we're going to expose him and hold him to the standard. And in this video, we're going to talk about how LeBron James exposes himself. This guy exposes himself regularly when he speaks, then when he tweets. And I saw this, I guess it was a tweet from a while back, and LeBron James was responding to the guy that tweeted about LeBron James being 30, and this effery won't go on for much longer. And LeBron James made fun of that person and, tried to clown that person and call them out because now he's 40. And he's saying that same person said, LeBron turned 40, this effery won't go on much longer. So LeBron James thinks that he's exposing this, this fan here, this guy, that tweeted this, 10 years ago, I say, when he turned 30. He thinks he's exposing this guy by basically saying, you thought I was going to be done? Dude, I'm 40 and I'm still going. No, but this guy was right. He was on the money. Because what he was saying, we're going to talk about in this video, guys. We're going to go over this video. I don't want to go too far here in my intro here. You guys know the deal, man. And I want to thank you guys, everyone across the world, everyone across the states, man, that supports my channel. You guys know the deal, man. I'm truly humbled, man, for real. Everyone out there, like I said, you guys send me messages on Instagram. You guys email me, and you guys come to the live streams, and you support us. Like I said, you guys comment in the chat. It's amazing, guys. It really is, man. It means a lot. Thank you very much, man. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So, yes, guys, like I said, man, I wanted to talk about how LeBron James embarrassing himself by thinking that he's exposing a fan. Now, like I said, if you guys don't remember, or you don't know, or maybe you've never seen the tweet, I guess it was a, it became like a famous tweet, I guess, some years back. So, like I said, this person is, I think it's on Twitter. I don't have Twitter or X, so I don't know how this stuff works, guys. All right? I literally have YouTube. I have Instagram and Facebook, but I'm not really active on there like that. You know what I'm saying? I barely keep up with YouTube. I don't even know how some people have all these social media platforms. Some people have a YouTube channel. They have TikTok. They have Instagram. They're on Twitter. My God, I don't even know how to do. Some people got Rumble. I don't even know what that is. I don't know anything. It's crazy to me how many different platforms and mediums there are that some people are able to, like I said, create across. It's really amazing, man. But anyway, this person was on Twitter, I guess, and this, like I said, this is from 10 years ago when LeBron James turned 30. And I guess the Twitter account name is POA. I could be wrong. I looked at this. I think it was POA. And the person said, LeBron is 30. This effery, I'm cursing this channel, guys. This effery won't go on for much longer, thank God. And, the person, really thought that, hey, LeBron James 30, he ain't got much time left. He'll be gone. We won't have to deal with this anymore. The effery is what he was saying, right? So what I saw, this was a response from LeBron James. I don't know if they were talking to LeBron James somewhere, and I saw this post, and LeBron James said, when I turned 40, the same effing guy said, LeBron turned 40, this effery won't go on much longer. Excuse me, guys. So LeBron James thinks that he's clowning this person, right? He thinks that he's exposing this fan by basically saying, like, listen, man, the same dude said when I was 30, it won't go on much longer. Now the same guy saying, I just turned 40, this won't go on much longer. But I'm LeBron James. I'm going to play forever. I'm going to play till I want to play. Remember, LeBron James just said that he's got, 5-6 years or something like that left in him? He said some crazy amount of time. So let's say LeBron James plays 5 more seasons. Let's say LeBron James plays till he's 45. Does anybody really think that he's enhancing his career? No, he's not. LeBron James and some of his weird fans, actually all his fans, they really believe that LeBron James is enhancing his career since he's been in LA. No, he hasn't. That bubble championship means nothing. It did not move the needle on his career's legacy one bit. True, in my opinion, LeBron James has never won a legit championship, guys. I don't respect any of his championships. And I've told you 2 of his MVPs to me are fraudulent. You won 2 MVPs on a stank super team. That's some BS, man. Other players should have gotten those MVPs, not LeBron James, man. It's insane they gave him back-to-back MVPs on his stacked super team. Don't make no sense, man. But anyway, I don't respect LeBron James championships, man. So his time in LA hasn't enhanced his career, but LeBron James, his fans think it has. All he's done is added to his accumulative stats, which don't mean anything because you've also created more turnovers than anyone in NBA's history. You've also missed more shots than anyone in NBA's history. You've taken the most shots than anyone in NBA's history. But you don't have any of the scoring titles to go with that, so you've just chucked up a lot of shots, which really exposes the narrative that you're pass first. It exposes that right there. You're not pass first. You've chucked up the most shots in NBA's history. If you were pass first, then you would have the most assists in NBA's history, but you don't. You have one assist title in your career in a frozen bubble season. No respect in that. So let's think about this here. When LeBron James says the same effing guy said that I turned 40, this effery won't go much longer, he really thinks that he's climbing this person? And when you think about what the guy said about LeBron James turning 30, this effery won't go on much longer, to me, what this person is speaking to is what we've known from LeBron James over the last 10 years, which has taken the NBA downhill, guys. So let's think about this. Let's say since 2015, which I think a lot of us agree, the NBA has gone downhill. It's gone completely downhill. And over the last 5 years, it's just fallen off a cliff, like literally a cliff, guys. That's what happened to the NBA. And I'm sorry, who's the face of the league during that 10-year stretch? Who was the NBA always promoting during that 10-year stretch? Who was the NBA's quote-unquote best player during that 10-year stretch? I thought that was LeBron James, wasn't it? He was the one they're promoting. Right, Tim Duncan was getting old. He was on his way out. Kobe Bryant was on his way out. The Kevin Garnett's, that generation, that era, they were on the way out. The 2010s era was in play now, right? The Dwayne Wades, right? The Chris Boshes, the LeBron Jameses, the Kevin Durant's, right? The Steph Currys, the James Hardens, the Russell Westbrooks. These were the guys that were stepping forward now from the 2010s. These were the next generation, next era players. And LeBron James was supposed to be the guy. He was supposed to be the guy leading the NBA, pushing the NBA forward. But what this person is alluding to is that they know that LeBron James was taking the NBA downhill. And what has happened over the last 10 years? The NBA has gone completely downhill. And LeBron James is one of the biggest reasons why. He's flopping. He's load managing. He's doing all the stuff that we hate. And you're supposed to be the star guy. You're forming super teams. So you gave us a super team era. You think that Kevin Durant would have made the move he made if LeBron James didn't make the move that he made? I don't believe so. It's like what we hear from the guys from back in the day, from the 80s and 90s, when I was going up watching the game. They didn't do those things because no one else did it. Like I said, when you thought about quote-unquote ring chasing back in the 80s and the 90s, it was usually done by guys who were in the NBA maybe 10, 11 years or so already, 12 years, and they're in the tail ends of their careers. Not in the middle of their career, the beginning of their careers, like LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh were when they all formed up and came together. These people would quote-unquote ring chase at the ends of their careers, right? Trying to, help a team get over the hump, let's say. So you try to go to a team and play a role, bring your veteran savvy and your leadership to a team and help them win. That's not what LeBron James did. So he gave us a super team era. Right? Kevin Durant tried to one-up LeBron James. So you had all this nonsense going on in the 2010s. It was a complete mess. Right? So now they had to come up with load managing guidelines. They had to come up with flopping guidelines. They had to come up with a play-in tournament, an in-season tournament, all of these gimmicks for the NBA. Well, that's the effery this guy was talking about. That's effery that we had to witness because of LeBron James. So LeBron James thinks he's clowning this person. He thinks he's like, showing them up. Hey, I showed him. I'm still playing at 40. He don't know what he's talking about. No, he was right. That dude was right. He thought that we weren't going to have to deal with him much longer. So, yeah, he may have been wrong with the fact that he thought that you would have walked away from the game a while ago because you should have walked away from the game a while ago, but you can't walk away from the money and the fame. It has nothing to do with the game. Remember, guys, understand this. LeBron James does not love the game of basketball. He does not love it. He does not. Because if he actually did love it, then he would have respected it enough to walk away, to step down, and not play the way that he plays, right? And not, once again, be disingenuous and dishonor the game by flopping around like that, forming super teams, standing around, walking around. That's not holding the game that you love to a high standard, man, or holding yourself to a standard for the game that you love. It's quite the opposite. LeBron James loves himself, and he loves what he gets from the game. He don't love the game. You haven't elevated or lifted the game up. He hasn't influenced the next generation of players. You haven't influenced anyone. You're not an icon. You're not iconic. Like, think about it. LeBron James is not iconic. What's iconic about LeBron James? Nothing. To me, LeBron James is not one of the most influential basketball players of all time. He's not one of the most iconic basketball players of all time. I do not believe that, guys. Like I told you, I would put Michael Jordan on a Mount Rushmore, not LeBron James. I would put Dr. J on a Mount Rushmore, not LeBron James. I mean, you could put a Bill Russell on a Mount Rushmore. You could put a Will Chamberlain on a Mount Rushmore. A Kareem Abdul-Jabbar on a Mount Rushmore. I mean, I just don't understand a Kobe Bryant on a Mount Rushmore. You know, a Larry Bird or a Magic Johnson on a Mount Rushmore. Put no damn LeBron James on no Mount Rushmore players? Are you kidding me, man? Because once again, we talk about Mount Rushmore. It's not necessarily, oh, these are the 4 greatest players in NBA's history. We're talking about icon. We're talking about impact, legacy, greatness. All of those kinds of things go into you being a Mount Rushmore type player, right? Like, can we look at you and say, yes, you represented the NBA and basketball in a way that you can be put up there on that mountain? The guys that I mentioned, I feel like they could be on there for whatever reason. LeBron James, I'm not putting him on there with the way that he's carried himself and gone about his business in his NBA career. Absolutely not. It's not happening. So this person's right. LeBron James has taken the NBA downhill. Like I said, all of the gimmicks that are now needed in the NBA to make it quote unquote popular again, because the popularity's gone downhill. I mean, what are we doing here? Michael Jordan played in the golden era. And why was it the golden era? It was the golden era because of the overall games of all these players, the personalities, but more importantly, guys, because they played with the love. So in turn, that allowed them and forced them to show up to work, to be there, to give the effort, and to compete. That's all you want from your athletes, to show up, right? Play with that love and compete. That's it. That's the minimum. I don't need autographs. I don't need you to smile at me. You ain't got to put your arm and give me a hug. You ain't got to shake my hand and give me a high five when you're walking off the court. You don't got to take your jersey off and throw it to me or give me your signed sneakers. I don't need none of that crap. All you got to do is show up to work, right? Give the effort. Compete. That's all fans want from their players, from the teams. Act like you're enjoying what you're doing, that you're happy to be out there. I mean, my God, these guys act like it's a job. No, I got to go out here again and play a game. I don't want to play today, man. Like, come on, man. You guys are getting all this money. You guys are living the dream. I remember as a kid, man, thinking, like I told you guys, I played basketball, football, and baseball, man. And, it was really sad reality for me, when I realized that I was never going to be able to play anymore. I wasn't good enough, maybe, or I didn't have the grades to get me into some of these schools. I wasn't a freak athlete like that. I wasn't LeBron James in high school. So for someone like me, I needed some things to break my way. I needed things to go my way. I was really good at football, but I wasn't as good as I hoped I would be, and I wasn't as good as, or maybe I wasn't viewed as good as I thought I was. So it came a point in my senior year where I put myself in a bad position because I thought that I was better than I was, or I guess I thought I was better than other people thought I was. So at the end of my senior year of football, I made a highlight film, right? I had a video class. And remember, this is VHS tapes, guys, back in the day. So I had to make a highlight film. Anyone that plays sports knows what a highlight film is, right? You put together your highlights, right? And, you send it to schools. So I did that on my own. I made a highlight film in my class, and I put together all the best plays of all my high school games. And, I sent it to all these colleges. And I was thinking that I was going to get some responses. And I sent this video to a lot of schools, man, right? To a lot of big name schools that didn't even have any interest in me. Because I used to get a lot of letters from, Division III schools and Division II schools and some of these 1AA schools at the time. I was getting a lot of letters from those kinds of schools, but I wasn't getting any schools or letters from schools from the big name schools that I thought that I should have been getting from. And I wanted to play football at Syracuse. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to go to Syracuse University and play football. In the mid-late 90s, Syracuse football was really respected. And one of the kids from my high school, he ended up playing at Syracuse, and he ended up going to the NFL, right? And when I was a freshman, he was a senior, and I became friends with him. I knew him, And like I said, he went to the NFL. He went to Syracuse. I wanted to follow in his footsteps, so to speak, kind of do what he did, go to Syracuse and then try to go to the NFL. So that was my plan. And once again, I thought I was better than I was. And I thought that I was going to be able to go to the NFL. So like I said, I was waiting for these big name schools to get back to me. And they never did. I never heard back from Syracuse. I never heard back from some of these other big name schools that I sent my film to. And I get it. I understood why. I didn't come from a big name school. I didn't have big name stats or big time stats at my school. My school was a very small school. It wasn't a big time school like that. My team wasn't good. You know what I'm saying? So it got to a point, like I said, guys, where I was so busy and so wrapped up waiting for big time schools to hit me up that I wasted and I lost out on other opportunities from smaller schools to go play football there. And by the time that I tried to, change my mind, so to speak, it was too late. They had already gotten all the players on the team. They already set. So I ended up having to go play football at a junior college. And that's what I did. And I thought maybe I could use that as a stepping stone, for my dream of playing in the NFL, right? But that dream was never a reality for me. It never was realized, guys. And once again, I took certain things for granted and I did not take the proper steps, right, to make it there, to be there. So, guys, what I'm saying here is that sometimes, we think that we're better than we are and, things don't go, certain ways in our life. And sometimes it's because of us. And sometimes we have to look at ourselves and point the finger at ourselves. LeBron James never does that. He never points the finger at himself and is like, yeah, this is on me, right? Even his fans, they never point the finger at LeBron James. It's always someone else. And that's how they live their life. So, if they didn't end up making it somewhere in their life, they blame other people. I don't blame my parents for not going to the NFL. I don't blame the school that I went to or the head coach that I played for because he never wanted to give me the opportunities to run the ball like that. You know what I'm saying? It was on me. Like I said, I had other opportunities from other schools, and I didn't take those opportunities. The irony, guys, behind some of this stuff, for someone like me particularly? So as you guys know, I've told you, I spent 4 years in the U.S. Navy. And I know I'm rambling here on a tangent, guys, and forgive me. I'm sorry. I tell you guys some of these personal stories and some of this stuff, man. But anyway, you guys know that I was in the Navy for 4 years. And I'll be honest with you guys, the reason why I went to the Navy, guys, is because I really didn't have anything else going for me in my life. I was effing up, man. I was messing up. So like I told you, I graduated high school, and like I said, I messed it up to the point where I could have had opportunities to go play football at other schools, but I squandered that waiting for these big-time schools that were never going to hit me up to hit me up. Like, who do you think you are, right? So the biggest school to recruit me, guys, that wanted me to play football for them was West Point. I don't know if you guys know what West Point is, right? It's the Army Academy. Well, not the academy, but, it's like, when you think about the Navy, right? They have Annapolis, right? It's the Naval Academy. So you have West Point. It's like the Army, right? Where the cadets goes, where you became an officer in the Army. In the Naval Academy, you became an officer in the Navy, right? Remember, there's enlisted and officers, right? Two different kinds of things. Right? Enlisted people don't go to college and get degrees, right? Most enlisted people come straight out of high school and you enlist into the military anyway. So West Point recruited me heavily, guys, from my junior year. And I remember they were recruiting me so heavily, guys, that I was invited up to West Point. I was on the sideline. Me and my parents, we were invited up to West Point for an entire day. We got to watch a football game on the sidelines. I stood on the sidelines with the team, my parents, right there. Like I said, I was given merchandise, T-shirts and shorts, West Point. And, I met the head coach and I met the general and met all these people. I met a lot of the team. I went to their practice facilities. I went to the weight room where they trained. I got the full tour of West Point. They wanted me to play running back for their team. Now, the problem for someone like me was I did not have the grades to get into a West Point. If you guys know West Point, you have to have hella grades to get into a school like that. These are top-notch academies, man. These are top-notch programs. So in order for me to play football for West Point, I had to go to what was called a prep school, all right? So I had to go to a prep school for 2 years, and then I would be able to transfer into West Point and play football for the team. Now, I would be able to play football for the prep. The prep team had a team that I would be able to play for. So when I'm at the school and I'm talking to the recruiter now, we were there all day, and I met all these people and got all this information. And we're on the football field now at the end of everything. And I'm talking to the recruiter, my parents, and he tells me the breakdown. He's like, listen, man, it's between you and another guy. You and another running back we're recruiting. So there's only one spot. It's either you or him, he told me. And the other player was from a local school that was in Westchester called Gorton. Shout out to anybody that's from Westchester that knows Gorton High School. And the running back that they were recruiting was from that school. And we had played them. I knew exactly who the kid was. And he was a good running back, this kid. So they were waiting for responses from both of us. And it came down to the point where he started to tell me, or I asked him this, once again, thinking who I was. Hey, if I go and play for you guys at West Point, and would I be able to go to the NFL? I asked him this. Once again, I don't know who I thought I was. Like I said, my dream to play in the NFL. And he told me straight up, the only way that you would be able, this is what he told me, the only way you would be able to try for the NFL is after you do 2 years of the Army. You have to do 2 years in the Army as an officer in the Army. Then you would be eligible to try out for an NFL team. Now, if you guys remember, David Robinson played in the NBA, obviously one of my favorite players of the 90s. David Robinson, one of the great players, one of the great two-way players. Well, David Robinson was drafted in 1988, guys, right, by the Spurs. But he did not play in the NBA until 1990 because he had to fulfill his military obligation for the Naval Academy. So when he graduated from the Naval Academy, even though he was otherworldly, I was nowhere near a David Robinson type of player. David Robinson was clearly an NBA superstar in the making. Clearly NBA ready, but he had to do 2 years of naval service. So David Robinson essentially lost 2 years of his prime for the military. So the funny thing behind all this, guys, my story, the moral of the story, the point I'm trying to make to you guys here, is I was recruited by West Point, and the reason why I ultimately did not go there is because I did not want to have to do 2 years of military service after I graduated. I wanted to be able to try for the NFL if it was possible, if I was good enough. I wanted to be able to have that option, that choice. So I said, you know what? I don't want to go to West Point. I turned them down. The irony is, guys, right? 2 years later, I was in the Navy. So I ended up in the military regardless, and I did 4 years, not 2. So, sometimes we make decisions, and sometimes we try to, see into the future, and it's really hard, guys. And like I said, I ended up, sometimes I look back and I laugh now. Like, damn, I didn't want to go to the military, right? So I didn't go to school to play football. I didn't pick West Point, and then I ended up going to the military any damn way. It's hilarious to me, guys. So I'm sorry I rambled on. But as you guys can see, the guy that talked about LeBron James is 30, this effery won't go on much longer. He was on the money because he was worried that LeBron James was going to ruin the game with the effery, and he did. He was right. So LeBron James thinks that he's laughing at this guy by saying, yeah, I'm 40, and the guy's still saying the same thing. Dude, I don't know what you're bragging about. You shouldn't be bragging. You exposed yourself. You've taken the NBA downhill. So that guy was on the money because it's effery that we're watching from you. Straight effery. Insane, man. You guys know these are the facts, man. LeBron James think he's mocking. Once again, LeBron James trying to talk down to the common folks. All he does is expose and embarrass himself. The same thing he's been doing on that Mind the Game podcast. Just exposing himself, contradicting himself left and right. You guys know the deal, man. You guys probably have heard of that tweet. LeBron James, 30, this everyone going much longer, and then it's still going on, and LeBron James thinks it's funny. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.